Hi, my name is Matt Soliz, and my presentation today is going to be called The World on Time, FedEx is a Global Leader. It's going to be our table of contents, and this is going to get us into our presentation. So our first question is, who is FedEx? I know we're all somewhat familiar with FedEx, but what does the company actually do? FedEx is a global shipping, transportation, and logistics concern based out of Memphis, Tennessee. They have over 400,000 employees in over 220 countries and territories, so that's almost the entire globe. They have employees and offices on every continent except Antarctica. And it includes their services include a wide breadth of services, including personal shipping, commercial freight and aviation, and e-commerce solutions, and many more, like FedEx Office. So it's not just shipping packages to your relatives on Christmas, like we all know. FedEx operates in almost every sphere of business all over the world. Human resources theory. FedEx uses the phrase people, service, profit to guide its human relations theory. So that's just going to be in order of importance, right? People are the most important, service is the second most important, and profit is the third most important. And they highly prioritize the theory Y side of Maslow's pyramid, like self-actualization and personal self-esteem in the workplace, and they just generally believe that employees that are happier are the ones that are going to respond to the theory Y motivations, and those employees are the ones that they want. And this is more human resources theory. It has a focus on helping employees take ownership of performance and innovation in the workplace. FedEx believes that employees are the number one source of innovation and propelling the company forward, so they try and make an environment where they are free to do that. It asserts that if people in service are cared for, that profits will follow. So FedEx makes its decisions based on caring for and enabling its employees and maximizing its customer service, and they posit that profit will be a natural byproduct of those two things being done well. FedEx has some really lofty goals for the human relations theory that I'm going to go over. They shoot for 100% customer satisfaction 100% of the time, which is a really lofty goal, but that's how they treat every customer service lapse as a failure. Senior and middle management are expected to pursue innovation, which is just a byproduct of them being in transportation. It's a constantly evolving field, and if you don't innovate, you're going to get passed up. And they collect feedback on all management from clients and from employees, and this is something that just helps hold management accountable and contribute to the cohesion of the organization. Communications theory. FedEx has a really, really robust communications theory, and it uses Redding's elements of supportive climates, the same one that we talked about in the class. They build credibility and confidence in management through a program they call the LEAP program, which contains a management evaluation program that gives employees opportunities to offer constructive criticism, to say what they like about their management, and also provides an opportunity for the management to tell employees how they're going to improve and how they're coming to the decisions that they're coming to. So it builds a trust and rapport between middle and senior management and the employees that is really imperative for FedEx's communications environment. They also use participatory decision making in the LEAP program, which uses peer evaluations in the promoting process. So when someone is going to go into a senior middle management position, they use references from their coworkers around them, and they have an active input in who's going to be their new boss. So it allows people to feel like they're giving a vote of confidence to whoever's going to be managing their department next, which really helps foster a good communications environment. And they handle crisis through image restoration, which means which helps them address their crisis and has helped them maintain their really, really positive image in the public and in the business world over the past 40 years. The next thing we're talking about is intercultural theory. FedEx has a really, really strong reputation on diversity and intercultural communications. It's a company based on global connectedness with a really high need for intercultural communication. FedEx exists in 220 countries. It would be impossible to run a company like this without intercultural communications. It's a global company, and it's just a necessity for them. They practice cultural accommodation theory through Corporate Diversity Council, which helps address and promote diversity issues across the company and in the communities the company operates in, which helps foster a sense of commitment to diversity. And it avoids cultural dominance, as the company is just far too diverse for that. There's FedEx headquarters on almost every continent. There are big decision makers from every different culture in FedEx, and it would just be impossible to input cultural dominance into this environment. It just wouldn't work, so they avoid that theory at all costs. And now we're going to talk about ethics theory. Informed consumers have presented new challenges in ethics. It's 2018, and if consumers don't think your company is ethical and don't think that your company is conducting itself in the right way, they just won't buy from you. And then this is part of the world we live in now. FedEx uses the categorical imperative as an ethical yardstick to maintain standards across languages and cultures. So it's a very large company that operates, as I said, in many different places around the world, and ethical norms and standards can get kind of hazy through linguistic lines. And FedEx uses the categorical imperative to make sure that that unethical behavior is avoided. Things like fraud, things like discriminatory behavior are across the board. They fail the categorical imperative and are not allowed. They also use the veil of ignorance to divorce large incentives in a large company from the decision-making process. So a company as big as FedEx, with as many assets as FedEx, if you were unethical, you could reap some serious benefits for yourself. And FedEx wants to remove the process of why you would make an unethical decision to how you're making your decision. They use the veil of ignorance to do that. In conclusion, FedEx uses a people-first organizational structure in order to maximize the utility of its greatest assets, the talent of its employees. At the end of the day, FedEx believes that its employees and their ability to innovate, their ability to push themselves forward is the most important thing that they have, and they rely on that, and they look to that to propel their company into the future. FedEx approaches modern challenges like diversity and ethics in a very progressive way, constantly looking to fold in new techniques and knowledge into their organizational structure. So this is just part of being a company in the 21st century. Information and techniques turn over really fast, and FedEx has constantly looked to be on the cutting edge of these techniques and never bank on what has worked before over the new challenges that they face. And FedEx, I think most importantly, FedEx has used its global network to its advantage, gaining knowledge and expertise on how to operate a company in a globalized world from its regional partners and acquisitions. So FedEx has arms, has acquired companies, and has maintained branches all over the world, and has really used that expansive network to absorb the knowledge from all these different countries, from all these different companies that had footholds in these countries, and from all these different types of cultures, and use that to their advantage by applying those lessons to the global structure in a way that is flexible and caters to the needs of the individual space that it's in. So that's a really unique advantage that a company that a transportation and logistics company has, like FedEx, that other companies don't have. Well, and this is my works cited page. Thank you so much for your time. This has been my presentation. I'm Matthew Soliz, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.